Driver, roll up the partition, please. I don't need you seeing PP on her knees. What's up, beautiful people? It's Hershey Sunday, and I'm back with the scoop. How are you? I hope that you've been fine because, baby, you ain't finna be after this read. Now, of course, I did the Bridgerton season 3, episode 1, episode 2. Did those. Waited a few days, okay? I rewatched the seasons, okay? Not the seasons, but the episodes. Specifically 3 and 4, because I'm going to be honest, I have some feelings, okay? Have some thoughts. But let's do a quick recap on episode 3 and 4, shall we? Come on. Now, baby, I wrote notes because I'm good about forgetting a few pieces. Now, just bear with me. Okay, we start off. Colin is having a steamy dream about Penelope. Now, as you recall, in the previous episode, episode 2, we're talking about episode 3 right now, but episode 2, Penelope had begged for him to kiss her, and so he obliged her. And baby, in this third episode, he waking up all hot and steamy and feeling away, all moist and whatnot. Baby, he done woke up from the dream, so he feels some type of way. He goes downstairs with his family, and they like, oh, you overslept. And he like, for real? Because I slept real good. By the way, this is sparkling water. I know we have some sparkling water haters. I'm pro sparkling water. I love the taste of static in my mouth. Anyway, he feels away. Then we head over to the Queen. Queen Charlotte is still looking for Francesca's suitor. Lady Denbury is telling her that she has a visitor coming soon, and the Queen was like, well, do you want me to have that person up out of here? Lady Denbury was like, no, don't even worry about it, it's all good. Eloise visits Penelope, telling her like, hey, you went kind of hard in that paper. Remember a previous episode, in the episode 2, Eloise accidentally but on purpose spilled Penelope's tea about Colin helping her find a man. Well, she said it out loud and was engaging who all was around. Another girl heard it and spread it like wildfire. Spread it like wildfire. And so because she's Lady Whistledown, she had to tell the tea. Okay, so Eloise was like, you didn't have to go in on yourself like that. Penna was like, well, I had to because I'm Lady Whistledown. I have this near my mouth because I'm about to take a sip. Hold on. Then we get to Colin and Penn talking while they were strolling. So they both were acting weird because of the kiss. Penn says that they can't continue the lessons, okay, because she got to go find her man. They both agree to keep their distance as well, but they still acting weird. Then we're going to switch to the party. So they went to this party. Lord Devlin is there, and Cressida's mama was like, he's eligible. And Cressida was like, well, all he's talking about is birds and nature. And Cressida's mama was like, you better snatch him up this year, because if not, me and your daddy going to hook you up with one of the geezers. Okay, you gonna get you a throw bike, man, and you don't want that. Go ahead, snatch up Devlin. He got some money. He got some coin. So Cressida, as she should, Tootsie rolled on over to Devlin. So Penn is at the party. She arrives there. Colin is there. Francesca, Eloise. Penn is at the party, and then 2 of the ninjas there that knows Colin was cracking jokes pretty much, you know, and then walked off. She's looking sad. Then she goes to the corner per usual. Will and Alice comes out there. And baby, Will and Alice is stepping at. Okay, Will is dressed up looking debonair and fine as he always is. Hey, Will. How you doing? Alice is over there giving bodycon and giving very much updo. And come look at my décolletage, honey. A old nasty dress, and I love it. Because the Modiste is in business, baby. The Modiste been working. She getting all the girls dressed for the season. So they both are looking good. Penn and Lord Devlin end up talking to each other because Lord Devlin had went over to where Penn was holding the wall up. And so they hit it off. Colin is watching while he's talking to Will and Alice. And Alice is telling Colin, like, what you did was real noble. Like, you being a good friend. And Will was like, yeah, a good character of a person is a person willing to help a friend. He's like, yeah, that's cool. But he low-key watching, not Cressida. He's low-key watching Penn. And he's kind of like, sourpuss face, like, why is she over there talking to him when she need to be talking to me? Because he feeling away. That kiss done got him all riled up. So Benedict, Colin's brother or whatever, he's tootsie rolling through the party, running away from women, because he's the one that don't want to be chased down by no woman. He just wants to tootsie roll with them, have fun, and leave. Then we switch over to the next scene, which is when they all go to the park. The whole, you know, zhuzh of the peoples. They all go to the park, and it's an air balloon display. Cressida and Eloise is talking, and Cressida was basically like, I need you to help me snatch up Lord Devlin. Penny runs into Colin. This is like a few days later. and tells Colin like, ooh, Lord Devlin been showing some interest. And they have a little moment. She had bought her a little cupcake. She licking a cupcake off her lips and all that, licking her fingers. And Colin is like, what that mouth do? He kind of know a little bit because they kiss. He feeling away. And she's like, do I got some sugar on my face? And he was like, oh, no, you licked it off. Colin is feeling for her bad. So anyway, Devlin, Cressida, and Penelope end up talking, and they both are trying to impress him, meaning Cressida and Penelope. The balloon ends up getting away, so Colin, Benedict, some other dudes end up holding the balloon down. One of the ropes looks like it's going to come and hit Penelope, so Lord Devlin covers himself over her to protect her. And so Cressida sees this, and she's like, poor Kay. So she starts faking an injury, like, oh, my ankle, Lord Devlin, help, save me, damsel in distress. So he goes and helps her, and Cressida, she's just nasty, baby. Cressida gave her a old nasty little Talking about Penelope, it was funny. That part was funny. Cressida is growing on me. Benedict ends up hitting it off with the older blonde lady. And they meet, they exchange words and all that. She's tickling his fancy because she's very much a straight shooter. She's secure within herself. She knows her worth. It's all that, okay? Hindsight, I said I'm going to do a quick recap. Baby, it's given. It's going to have to be a part 2. So just stay tuned while I finish this up. So then we get to yet another party, okay? Mama Bridgerton is there. She runs into this beautiful chocolate man, and he's bald, baby, and got none of the hair. His name Marcus Anderson, Lord Marcus Anderson. It turns out that's Lady Denbury's brother. Cressida and her mama is at the party. Cressida mama is like, look, your daddy got me under his thumb. He is cutting our money in half. You need to get you a man, baby. Get you a man with some coin. So they at the party. Penn sees Lord Devlin, so does Cressida. They both are trying to make a beeline to him. Cressida gets to him first. And they both are talking or whatever. Francesca, remember, she's the one that's kind of stemming a little bit, maybe a little bit neurospicy and an introvert. It's a dude with sideburns. He cute, but that's there. And he talking about some, oh, I want 8 kids. And Franny dips, baby. Franny said, no, ma'am, no, sir. She goes outside to get some quiet. Then, baby, a strong, tall drink of chocolate milk, of Godiva chocolate rolls up for some quiet, too. And they was both like, let's just enjoy this quiet together. And so they're just quiet. And they're both like introverts, odd, looking at each other. She excuses herself. He's like, okay, cool. So then we flash to Will at his bar. Some short dude rolls up to get a drink and basically tells Will he can't have a bar no more. Penn goes up to Devlin. We're going back to the party. Penn goes up to Devlin and was like, look, how I was acting outside is not how I really am. I'm different. I don't like the outside like that and all the force and none of that. Colin then asks his mama, like, what about friendship and love? And his mama was like, well, your daddy asked me. He had the courage to ask me, like, what about us? Colin goes up to Penn and he's trying to ask her a question, but he waited too long. He got nervous. And baby Devlin took her hand, was like, baby, it's time for our dance. And so she took the roll with Devlin. Colin is sick about it. His mama peeps game, and then Penn's other sister find out she's pregnant too. Baby, I done ran my mouth. Let's go on Tootsie Roll to part 2 of this, okay? We're going to talk about episode 4. What's up, beautiful people? It's Hershey Sunday, and I'm back with the scoop. This is part 2 of the 3 and 4 recap of Bridgerton. I will be talking about episode 3 and 4. I broke it up in 2 pieces, but here we are. And I also want to talk about some things that have bothered me with this half season. So let's talk about episode 4, shall we? All right, beautiful people. So Devlin comes to call on Penelope. As you recall, in episode 3, baby, they hit it off. They're dancing. He came through and said, baby, take my hand and let me guide you to the dance floor. When Colin was about to say something, but Cat got his tongue. He didn't say a word. So he comes and he brings her a planted gift. A plant as a gift. I would say a planted gift, but he brings her a plant. She talks about how she likes to be in the window, and keep that in mind. She said why she likes to be in the window and how she likes to just stare out into the window, but she's enjoying his company more. Keep that in mind for later. Okay, Francesca is waiting on one of the lords with the sideburns to come visit her, right? The one who wanted the 8 kids. Mama Bridgerton asked Colin why he had asked her about love and friendship and stuff. And then Benedict and the widow, we find out that she's a widow. the one that was the blonde lady that he liked was hunching and stuff. So Lady Danbury then goes to her brother like, why is you here, ho? And the brother's trying to explain his case. Lady Danbury ain't here for it. She's pretty much over it. I guess he was a hot to trot type of dude, and she wasn't there for it. She kind of wants him to leave. Okay, then we go back to the Bridgerton home where Francesca is waiting on the dude with the sideburns and who wants the 8 kids, but ends up being greeted by John Sterling of Kilmonte or something. He's a lord of something. He got him a title, baby. He got him a coin. Come from a good old Christian family. The fine chocolate one, okay? So he comes to call on her, and they formally introduce themselves, because I don't even think in the last episode they shared each other's names. But first name. So he comes to call on her. And so they just sit on the couch, just both not speaking. And just smiling at each other, sitting next to each other, and just not speaking. And they having the time of their life. And so the other family is on the other side of the room like, well, how they gonna get to know each other if they're not even talking to each other? Now, baby, in words of my good auntie Ursula Lachey Swimson, baby, body language. They gonna know how to speak to each other well enough if things go in order correctly. Baby, we ain't gotta say too many words. Babyface said the same thing. Whip appeal. What was that song when he was talking about some they think it's trouble at home because we don't talk a lot when we spend time alone? That was Whip appeal. And no, does it like Franny? And that was the song. Anywho's, they just sitting there not talking. Then the dude who wanted the 8 kids shows up. Johnny leaves. The tall chocolate fountain. He leaves. And so, you know, it is what it is. He came unannounced or whatever. He was like, okay, I'm going to go. They're both a little neurospicy, if you ask me, but it works for them and they like each other, right? Right. They go to Will and Alice next. And Will and Alice are having a conversation about the club. Will don't want to get that club up. He worked hard for it. He's like, why do I have to give the club up? Alice is like, we got a new life. Didn't you tell me that? And Will was like, well, they ain't got nothing to do with me. Just because I told you that, I'm not giving up my club. So that was the whole thing. Then we go over to the library opening or demonstration or whatever. They go to a lot of events, child. They are booked and busy. So everybody's there. Colin, Penn, they keep looking at each other, giving each other the slight eye. Devlin is asking, like, you know, is there anybody you looking for? Because she keep looking over and she's like, oh, no, da-da-da. So he's like, hypothetically speaking, as far as your romance books, is there a romance that the guy goes on a long voyage and the woman is tended to the house? And so she's like, I mean, it can work, you know, practical, we can be happy and whatever. And he's like, if I asked, you know, your mama for your hand, would you say yes? She didn't tell him yes. She was like, yeah, you'll have to read the book. They're doing a whole analogy. It was whatever it was. Colin and his friends go down to the Players Club and pay for some coochie. He didn't even want the coochie that he paid for. 2 ladies, by the way, because Colin nasty like that. And he's just thinking about Penn and that kiss and trying to get in her gooses and berries. Next scene is Mama Bridgerton and Franny walking outside. Franny, who is Francesca, was walking outside and sees John. So she tootsie rolling over to him, talking about some, hey, they chat. And it was a dude playing the violin or something and biking him. And he was like, do you like the music, or isn't the music nice? She was like, no. Remind you, she's really into music. Neurospicy, allegedly. And she's like, no, he's playing it too fast. Da, 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 da. So John's like, that's a good recommendation. And he's like, excuse me. And tootsie rolls away. Like, power walks away. Fran is like, and she's like, you know what, Mama, I don't even like him like that. Okay. So, the next scene is Colin is down to the bar with his homeboys, same homeboys who was like talking about their little escapades with the freaks and stuff. And he drinking and he in despair, he's spiraling. And so, you know, he going through it. The next scene is Devlin asking Penn's mama for her permission to propose. And she said, yeah. Penn is like, well, I don't know if I really want to say yes. And her mama was like, see, the problem is you reading them storybooks. You know what's real sexy and what razzes my berry? Security, money, moolah, dollar bills. Colin is back home. He's sick. His mama was like, was that you stumbling around the house? Like, drunk and in despair. And she was like, I want to ask you, why did you ask me about the whole friendship and love thing? And he was like, oh, mama, don't worry about it. I was just asking a question. And she was like, well, I'll hate for you to miss your pupil getting proposed to, because word on the bird is that Devlin finna ask Penn's hand in marriage. So then Colin all of a sudden starts to feeling better, because he had told his mama, oh, I ain't going to the party, I don't feel good. Now, he gonna go to that party. So he on his way there. Marcus, so now they at the party. Marcus and Mama Bridgerton is talking, and you know, they relating to each other and all that stuff. She's talking about her relationship with Lady Danbury, and they, you know, having a good conversation and all that. Alice and Lady Danbury is having a conversation. LD, aka Lady Danbury, tells Alice, like, you need to convince your man to leave that bar, because the queen ain't gonna take too kindly for him, you know, still working like he's a commoner. He has a title. Franny sees John. Now, she's pissed. She just got done dancing with the dude with the sideburns and who wants the 8 kids. And then John comes strolling up, and she's like, you know what? I just got done Tootsie Rolling and throwing this thing in a circle with old boy. I'm so parched, baby. I don't even feel like talking. He was like, wait. I'm sorry. Like, but I went to go get you this. So he gives her, like, music, you know, the recommendations that she said. He went to go have it printed up for her. He was like, listen, I don't talk a lot. I'm not a man of many words. And the words I say don't be making sense. But I'm big on gestures. Meaning he don't talk about it. He walk about it, or something to that effect. He's a doer, okay? He gonna do for you, okay? And so she was like, you know what? It's time for me to go home, because I'm finna play with this gift you just gave me, and I love you real bad. So she Tootsie rolls home, tells her mom she ready to go home. Colin gets there. First the queen. The queen is pissed because she's like, why is Francesca leaving? And the dude that I'm setting her up with is right there. So, the other Featherton sister finds out she's pregnant too. Devlin and Penn are dancing. Colin comes in, break all that thing up. They dancing together. Cressida sees Devlin without Penn and cuts in and dances with them. Penn and Colin ends up arguing. And so Devlin sees this and he's like, oh no. And then Cressida, while they were dancing, kind of was like, oh yeah, they've been real close, real familiar, baby. Throwing a little salt on the wound. And his antenna goes up, because you know he been in nature. He all about the antennas and the, you know, wildlife. So he confronts her like, is that why you want to sit up in the window like you Brandy sitting up in your room pining after this man? Clearly y'all got some unfinished business. And she was like, oh, he would never want me. But he was like, but do you want him? And she didn't really say nothing. And he was like, you know what, baby, I wish you the very best. All right, Scoops, this is part 3, and this is the finale of the first half of the whole Bridgerton 3-4 recap. If you haven't watched the first 1 through 4, go ahead and do that. So anyway, Devlin was like, you know what, baby, I bid you adieu, okay? Because I'm finna go on this voyage to Atlantis or whatever the Isley Brothers was singing about, and I need somebody who's not already invested in somebody else. And I get that, like, reasonably so. So she's pissed. She runs away. Penn's mama is like, what happened? Like, what did you do to mess this up? And Penn's like, you only care about me if I got me a man on my arm. And mama was kind of like, I mean, yeah. The next scene is Penn running away, and then she runs into the carriage. Franny is now home playing the musical sheet music that John gave her. And she's all in love, baby. She is in love with that man, as she should be, because he is fine. Colin runs after Penn, jumps in her cart, and was like, did he propose to you? He's like grilling her. She's like, that's none of your business. No, he didn't propose because you done bust up the thing, being jealous, and like, why he thought that you liked me and you done messed us up. And he was like, well, I do. Spoiler alert, I do. And so he gives a speech about how he like, man, I see you everywhere. I see you in my sleep, and that's where I prefer to be because I know you'll be there. And she's like, well, we're friends, but I want to be real, like, more than friends, real bad. They kiss. And here's where things get, not even just here. We'll go into that. They start, mind you, they're in this carriage, right? The carriage is on the way to Colin's house. There are at least 2 drivers on this carriage, right? on the outside. These carriages are not soundproof. They are back there kissing and groping. He is finger banging this woman in the back of the carriage. And that is what happened. So the carriage stops at his house. They like, ooh, like we done got caught. We at your house, your mama's house. And he's like, well, come on, ain't you gonna marry me? And so she steps out the cart. And that's the end of episode 4. We have to wait until June for the rest of the other half of the season. Now let's get into the recap. So there are a few issues I had with episode 3 and 4. Now, the first 2 episodes I tolerated. I thought they were fine. I really enjoyed the first one. Preface this by saying that. Also, I know I have not read the books. So don't do too much. No, I haven't read the books. I'm going off of the visual of what I'm seeing on Netflix, okay? I felt like the second episode was more so of a filler, and that's okay. I understand that does happen. I feel like, and one of my friends brought this to my attention, which I didn't know, but I assumed that there was some type of differences, because I'm gonna tell you what I assumed. Because of the writing with 3 and 4 and how rushed it was, getting Penelope, and then it wasn't really a true glow up, in my opinion. I felt like maybe this was the work of a writer's strike attempt. Writers that are not normally there, and it was just rushed, and we done already spent this time and money, and we gonna film what we done wrote down. But my friend told me that there's a new showrunner, and she's more of a rom-com background. I don't think that a rom-com is what we needed for this season. I wanted to see Big Pen glow up for real. Like, I felt like she was the same old wallflower, same self-loathing, the same you crying in it. When Cressida stepped on your dress, baby, the way you should have tackled her up, dude, and made it a old nasty down swing, low down, dude. The way I would have threw lemonade at her brassiere or whatever, like, we would have been Bad Girls Club Bridgerton, because there's no way you ain't see that she did that on purpose. You just running off. Like, I felt like it wasn't, she changed the dress, and she did look beautiful. She's not, I feel like Penelope is a beautiful woman. Her lack of confidence, and I know everybody can't be extremely confident, but her lack of confidence in this wasn't what I wanted to see. I wanted to see her dance card fool. Ninja after ninja after ninja. Baby, I might fit you in between the foxtrot and the waltz if I got time. Okay? Because the schedule looking real tight right about now. That's what I wanted to see. And I wanted to see Colin sick about it. Like, stand on business, Pen. I wanted to see Colin sick. You seeing her with ninja after ninja after ninja. She stayed getting called upon. She stayed dancing, tootsie rolling at these balls, looking good, fresh bust down middle part, or old nasty Aaliyah 4-page letter, 1 in a million size swoop. Or a French roll or something, and a bodycon dress or a jumpsuit. Like, I wanted to see that Pen. And I wanted her to write an old nasty piece of, if, and I understand the book, I get it. I'm just telling you what I wanted to see. Can I do that? Let me do that. If we're going to talk about, okay, he's helping her find a man, woo, woo, woo. The cat's out the bag because Eloise was running her chops. Baby, I want her to take that pen and be like, yeah, I heard Word on the Bird said Colin helping her. But truth be told, Big Pen don't need no help, baby. I saw that caboose back there. Like, mama is dragging and you ninjas need to keep up. Like, I would have gassed myself. This is just me. I would have gassed myself so hard, baby. The way the Dukes of Hazzard, Duke Ellington, Daisy Duke would have came after me. Please. Ain't none of this self-loathing if I'm writing the article. I'm writing the article. Baby, Big Hirsch gonna bring it every time. One thing I can say about Big Hirsch, when she come up to the ball, baby, she is the ball. She's the diamond. She is the gem. She is the amethyst. Honey, she is the moment. Okay? Shout out to Wendy Williams. We love you, girl. But, like, I wouldn't have been going in on myself like that. I would have gave a old mediocre read like, oh, well, I don't know why she asked Colin. If you ask me, baby girl don't need no help. Like, baby, please. It just did not give. And then when we get to the cart ride. Now, here we got Daphne first season, Kate second season, and then even Queen Charlotte. I felt like they were respected. They were respected. Yes, they did their little fun, but they were still respected. One thing my friend pointed out, and I agree, even though Kate wasn't married to Anthony, Kate was older. This is still a young little girl, honey, a virgin at that. So me getting finger blasted in the backseat of your Corolla is not, in my opinion, a good time for a new virginal lady. Like, it's not fair. You sitting up there confessing your love after you done broke up the thing with me and Lord Devlin. Now, granted, no, he wasn't a good match. I wouldn't want to be with him either. But like, you done came up and messed up the thing, and now you gonna confess your love, and instead of taking me to the Marriott or Bella Noche's, where else can you go? Like, instead of taking me somewhere real classy based to have dealings, you want to sit up there and blast me in the back of your Honda while we got two other ninjas outside who work for my mama. Because what if they tell my mama, Featherington, and your mama that we was over here dry hunching? And it wasn't sexy to me. It didn't give me sexy. There was no build up. It was a lack of layering, in my opinion, when it came to the storytelling. It just didn't give, and it was giving big girl treatment. There, I said it. It was giving rushed big girl treatment. Some here, dang, fine, I do want you because I see you with somebody else, and no, I don't like that. And one of my other friends pointed out it was giving lust. I agree. As I wanted to see her as the wallflower, as the thicker woman, and she's a gorgeous woman, like head to toe. I wanted to see her own who she was, and she get the respect of knowing, like, you gonna come at me correct, period. Like, you're not gonna, no. I don't know who you been Tootsie rolling with over in France, we and all of them, but you gonna at least take me to the W, to the Drake hotel. You gonna take me somewhere nice. Okay, like, you're not about to blast me in the backseat of your Honda. And then hit me with some, ain't you gonna marry me for real? I wasn't pleased. Let me know in the comments what you thought. Okay, I could do a part 2 to how I felt about it. But let me know in the comments what you thought about this, the half season. Because that's all I have for you today about it. Voice going out and everything. Thank you for tuning in. Don't forget to like, share, follow, and comment for more content. And as always, I'm Hershey Sunday, and I'm back with the scoop. Peace.